What's up, Portland? John Taylor, founder of PortlandRealEstateExperts.com.
And I'm Kristina Bullock, co-founder of PortlandRealEstateExperts.com.
And we are your host for the show that brings you interesting people talking about what makes them unique,
what makes Portland unique,
and why Portland is such a great place to live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the All Things Portland podcast. I'm your host, John Taylor, along with my lovely co-host, Kristina Bullock. And how are you doing today, Kristina?
I'm doing great today. It's a beautiful day. Happy to be here. So
Absolutely.
How are you?
I'm doing great too. So what do we have in store for today's show?
We have Diane Bradley. She is the owner of the Goodness Collaborative. So she'll be telling us about her business in the first section. In the second section, we're going to jump into the infamous Portland package, but with a twist today. We're going to focus on young families and where to go in Portland if you are part of a young family. And third, we are going to jump into real estate. Diane is unique in the sense that she has lived in Portland for 12 years. Moved 4 times, all on the same street. So talk about loving your neighborhood. We're going to jump in and all that and much more today on All Things Portland.
Awesome. So as always, we're here to answer any of your real estate questions, and you can reach us at PortlandRealEstateExperts.com on the web and at PortlandRealEstateExperts on the Instagram, or my cell phone 971-409-7962. So with that being said, I'm super excited about today's guest, Diane Bradley. And Kristina talked a little bit about it, but after working as a consultant for a large corporation, such as our local Nike, she decided that there was a need for that same coaching for small businesses and individuals. So with that being said, Diane, why don't you tell us a little bit about your business and how you got started? And
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks, John and Kristina.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. So my business, The Goodness Collaborative, we started about a year ago, back in 2019, and it all started with this idea that I felt like work could be different, that consulting could look different, and that a lot of the rigor that you often apply to big companies could actually be used in supporting people in their individual lives, in supporting small businesses, and supporting entrepreneurs who often, all of those markets are underserved. So that was sort of the initial experiment, like, can we do this differently? And another part of the experiment is that I have an all-women team right now, many of which who work part-time, many of whom are also parents. And so I also
Feeling
think...
a little outnumbered here.
The struggle.
Yes, yeah. So
small business woman.
Yeah, it's just like all the things. So I felt like I wondered if you could not only do work differently, but also run your business differently, sort of operate differently, have different team norms, support people in their full lives. So that was really my initial intention in starting The Goodness. And now, things have just evolved this year. So I'm excited to dive in with you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I have a question here. I love the aspect of it being an all-women's and the support of home life in addition to business. So who are your typical clients? Who do you see coming to you that need that help, and what do they come asking for?
Yeah. So we, right now we serve sort of 3 primary groups. We serve individuals. So anyone, could be you. We also serve entrepreneurs, largely because our team is really passionate about that audience. And as an entrepreneur myself, I feel like I'm only a couple steps ahead. And so I feel like that's what you need when you need like hands-on coaching, as someone who's still in it deep enough, not so far removed. And then thirdly, we serve organizations. We often serve small or mid-sized companies. As we've talked about, I have a rich history, and my team has a big history serving big businesses like Kaiser, like Nike, like OHSU. And I feel like a lot of the organizations that we're serving now are more in that sort of mid-size company. So they, regardless of that group, individual, entrepreneur, or company, they're all kind of in 3 primary states when they come to our door or when they contact us. One is they feel stuck. A lot of people feel stuck. They feel paralyzed, particularly right now in this pandemic time, the civil unrest. I mean, everything is crazy. A lot of people feel
a lot going on
right
stuck.
Sure, yeah.
And they are not sure what to do. So there's a lot of people who come to us that they don't even know what they need. They just need help moving somewhere. Second thing is that often people come to us when they want to explore their options, or they maybe want to make a career change or make a big move.
Right. I do recall seeing that as if they cannot stand the job that they've had for a long time, but don't know where to go.
Yeah, so it's like they know they want to change, but they're not sure what to do, and they want to explore some options. And even businesses oftentimes are like, what's the right path to growth? So people come to us in that. And then the third thing is that a lot of folks come to us when they just need some extra horsepower, or they need some extra momentum, they need movement. Particularly companies start initiatives and then they have a hard time finishing them, or even individuals start a lot of things and have a hard time finishing it.
Hey, I'm pretty sure I just got called out. I love to start things. Ideas are wonderful, but there does get a point where it becomes overwhelming. Yeah. And I don't know which direction to go, or it just,
Yeah. So, well, there's a lot of folks like you in the world, and I think that we support you. So that's kind of who we serve and sort of where we meet them. And of course, sometimes people are in a myriad of different states all together, but that's what we often see.
Nice.
So how many, you've been at it for a year right now, so like, do you think you said there's 3 types, so does it kind of equal, or what, is there more
like
one than the other? Yeah, the mix.
Yeah, I mean, because of my team's history working with companies primarily, we have a lot of brand recognition for working with businesses. And so we do have folks on our team who have built programming and curriculum for individuals, but that's sort of an evolving offering that we're building. So most of our work right now is with organizations, whether it be a private company, public companies. So probably 75% of our work is through the company avenue, and the rest of it is sort of with individuals and entrepreneurs.
Okay, but that's something you're working on.
We're sort of like, just like anything, you sort of want a portfolio of different things that you do, and you want it to be somewhat diverse so that you're not fully all in with just one type of service with one type of audience. So as I mentioned, like in this first year, it's all about experimenting and figuring out kind of what works, what doesn't work, and then adjusting. I'm sure you all can understand that.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of that over the years.
Yeah,
So have you ever worked with a small real estate team, or?
Not a real estate team, but we're actually working with a big construction management company right now. Okay. And so that's been a really interesting, just sort of deep dive into that industry and understanding building and craftspeople and field work and all sorts of arenas that I personally don't have a lot of experience in. So
I feel like, I don't know if you guys have a lot of experience in this, but where we struggle in real estate nowadays, we're expected to do a lot of marketing online ourselves. So is that something that businesses feel across the board? There's so much social media out there that it can get overwhelming. So how do you help people figure out, I mean, what is there a magical
that's
formula
the thing.
To that?
That's the thing, like there's not, oftentimes even in like, I sound so clear, like these are the 3 things that people come to us for. It's true, those are common, but how you solve those things looks different. There isn't, it's not that everything is fully custom built just for you and you and you. There are things that are similar, but there's no silver bullet. Because think about it, then we would have all done it. We would have already done it. So particularly with marketing, it's like...
There's no plug and play. Like
I think that there's
you do
no
this
thing.
and you need this, and this is going to work perfectly for you.
Yeah.
You need to really kind of dig in and find out the personality of the company and the team and how they all work together, and then you're going to put together kind of a custom plan from there.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's funny because, every client is so unique, and every customer, every business, every person, and yet, as we all know, even as people, we all share some common ground. There are things that we all somewhat understand and do that are similar. So often as a consultant, you're looking for those patterns. You're looking to see where like, oh, this company is similar to this thing that I did and this thing. And you're sort of starting, it's like the best consultants are those that don't come in with a solution, but are ones that look for patterns and look to see how the system works together so that they're incorporating all of their life experience in the work that they're doing. Does that make sense?
Interesting.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
When I was reading your descriptions of what your company does on the website, I found myself like reading everything. It was very clear what you do, but I was also like, okay, what exactly do they do? So I get where where it doesn't apply to everybody and using that experience. One of the things I saw in there was looking at it from maybe the owner's perspective on how to do you encourage owners to provide support and more service to their employees or their team members? Is that something that people come to you for too, or not just business growth or crossroads? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I actually think part of what I mentioned in my founding story was like I was both trying to, and still are, experimenting with how we do work differently, but also how we work differently as a
business
team.
Culture, right?
Yeah,
what
the culture of that
like
team, that experience. Office. Yeah, so we often we're doing things for our team that then we apply out with our clients. So a lot of our clients will say, well, gosh, like, how do you guys stay so connected during the pandemic? How do you support a bunch of part-time schedules? How do you do this? And it's like, oh, let us help you.
Yeah, those are all
do
questions
the same thing
that I have.
Yeah.
Well, I think you do it. That is very.
I know. Well, it does. It takes a lot of intention and it takes a lot of nurturing. And sometimes one of my teammates and I joke a lot about how much time and energy we spend with just our small team of 7. And how much of our jobs it is to nurture and care for those humans. Yeah. And by doing that, you then create them to do the best things that they can in the world. And so we invest a ton of energy in our team. And that has been our philosophy from the very beginning. And that was honestly what kind of forced me out of big consultancies before, was that it was all about the client. It was all about the customer. And it wasn't about the people that worked there. And so I kind of have reversed the equation and infused tons of energy, time, and money into my people. And, it's a lot of work to keep doing that. But as a parent, you know how to nurture. Because you're like, well, I do this every day with my kids, so I now just have more family. More kids.
Whether you got enough sleep, whether, everything is handled, you still have to take care of and nurture. Correct. So
I think there's a huge need for this. I can just we're already kind of wheels are churning. We're seeing oh, we could use this. At least I am already.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where would we find you?
Yeah, so how do you get in touch with us?
How do we get in touch with you, and how do we get started? What would the start of that be?
Love that. So we actually just overhauled our website in the last couple of months, so you can find us at www.thegoodnesscollaborative.com. It's a lot of mouthful. We'll put it, I'm sure, in the notes of the podcast.
We will, yes.
And we also have a really active Instagram account, also at that same handle, at The Goodness Collaborative, and a LinkedIn profile. To get started, we have a couple different options. I mean, the best thing that I encourage is on our website, we offer a bunch of experiences and programs that we're running every week. We actually have free virtual gatherings for the community to join on Monday and Friday mornings.
That's great.
You can get on a call, meet a community. So one way is to just join us. A second thing is that we also, through our website, you can book a 30-minute free consultation. And right now, I'm actually the one doing all of those personally because I'm investing a ton of time and just getting to know our community better. So that would be with me. And then you can also just send us a note on the site. But I think the best way to get started is to try something and or get on the phone with us.
She does respond very quickly. That is how I reached out to her, actually. So she means what she says.
Well, I'm so honored to be here.
Thanks for joining us for sure.
So that's the Goodness Collaborative. If you don't feel supported by Diane and the name itself, I don't know what to tell you, but definitely reach out if you found like any of these things that we talked about today could use help for your individual life or your business. And I think we're going to take a small break here and hear from one of our sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to jump into the infamous Portland package.
Have you ever thought about flipping your own home?
Need to sell but cannot afford the repairs? We have the solution for you.
With our Flip Your Own Home program, we can help you maximize your full potential profit.
For a free, no obligation 15-minute consultation, call or text us today at 503-382-7798.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here at the GMP Studios on 24th and East Burnside, and we are back with our guest Diane to talk about the infamous Portland package. And so, for all of you that know, you know, but if you don't know, the Portland package is basically, if you were going to bring an out-of-town guest to Portland, 3 ways you would highlight what Portland's all about. If you only had 3. Ours typically is we go to the Portland City Grill downtown, show off the view. We take them to the coast, show off the beautiful Oregon coast, or we take them down the gorge, show off Multnomah Falls. And so we're kind of putting our guest on the spot to do something a little different than those 3 things, because everybody, you know, that's Portland. Those are 3 great ways to do it. But Diane is going to give us a different twist today and talk about, well, we'll just let you jump into it. What would your infamous Portland package with a twist be today?
Yeah, awesome. So my twist today is that maybe, like many of you, I have young kids, and so our young family is often a lot of the spots that you would take folks. Those are great, and they're often busy, especially now. And so we've been, particularly in the post-COVID world, sort of trying to find new spaces where you can be with your young kids. So, but also be outdoors, get out of the house,
Right.
all of that.
Huge right now, and be safe,
And be safe and not be
that.
jammed with everyone else,
Right.
and not be stuck in traffic headed to the coast. So, how about I just say what the 3 are, and then we can talk about them?
Yeah,
Does
that
good?
sounds perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that we love is going to Sauvie Island. So maybe we can talk a little bit. Maybe you guys can share too some of your experiences.
I love Sauvie Island. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy.
I haven't been there for a while, actually.
I love going to there for Halloween. So
Yep.
The maze, like we take our son there,
Yeah.
we have in the past, and he loves the maze, and he's really good at it.
Yeah.
He gets us unlost quite a bit.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness the kids are smarter than us.
Right.
Yes.
You know, and
in
the
charge.
hay rides and the pumpkins and just all the things that are
Yeah.
there. It's just a really cool spot. But those are cool to go to all the time. It's, you know, the farmers market and stuff.
Yeah, we have loved just kind of like the U-Pick options. You know, they still have those open now. Even the Sauvie Island beaches, if you get there first thing in the morning, they're really not very crowded, and they're not, they just feel very safe and homey. There's lots of them there that are kind of secret spots. And even just like driving around Sauvie, just like looking at the animals. I mean, that might sound sort of mundane, but honestly, for a 2 and a 5-year-old, like that's the highlight of their whole week, to see like a
That's
cow
all we need to see.
or a
Yeah.
horse or a goat
sure.
or whatever's out there.
Yeah.
So especially when you're not leaving the house a lot, like seeing an animal is a big deal. So
I feel like the U-Pick berries, though, is a big deal, too,
Yeah,
for the little
that's
kids.
so
being
great.
I mean, usually if you're picking something as a youngster, you're
also
getting in trouble,
eating it.
right?
But
This
you
one's
gotta pick it, you gotta
acceptable.
eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so beautiful out there. There's so much to do. I haven't ever taken advantage of like riding bikes, but I know there's always a ton of in families as well riding their bikes out there and stuff. So
totally.
there's just a ton of stuff to do.
Is there a beach that you prefer with the young ones?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even know what it's called, but if you go on Sauvie Island and you go to the left, you know, there's one main road around Sauvie Island, for those of you that don't know. If you go to the left and you follow that, it's off of Reeder Road, which is kind of, if you go all the way to the end of Reeder, there's a bunch of public beaches at the very end. I think it's on the Columbia side. So I just think stay away from the ones that are like close to the entrance, because a lot of people are sort of flooding those. But if you go all the way to the end, I just don't even know what that beach is called.
I've never been on the beaches there, so I don't know.
You guys will have to check back in with me and let me know.
This is the best part about this segment, is not only for anybody listening, but for ourselves too. I get so inspired by places that people talk about. Like, who knew? The end of Reeder Road. There's, you know.
Yeah.
And especially, you know, for youngsters, where you feel safe and they've got that beach to to get out in the water and not know that there's a lot of traffic and all
Yeah.
that stuff that you do have to worry about. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that makes a big
So
difference.
Sophie Island's a great choice. What would be
my
number
second
2?
choice. So if you were going to make sort of a day trip of it, we actually live close to Forest Park, so I'm really personally love Forest Park. We'll talk more about that in the next section. But if you come over the Sophie Island Bridge and you just go straight into Forest Park, a lot of those entrances that are in the top half of Forest Park are just incredible. A lot of fire lanes, a lot of sort of hiking trails for kids. There's even some little mini waterfalls kind of north of Linton, between Linton and Sophie Island area.
I don't know that I even knew that either.
So that's just like, you
Learning
can
so
enter
much.
in much further north. Most of us think about Forest Park when we think about Washington Park, we think about the zoo, we think about the Audubon,
More
we think
the
about all
Southwest,
of
kind
that.
Closer
Yeah.
to downtown. And
That's
I forget,
exactly.
It's a huge park, and I
Yeah.
forget what it is, but it's like one of the largest
Oh
ones.
yeah, it's the
in-
largest one I think in a city center in the country.
Oh wow, I had no idea.
It's huge. So if you go to the top half of the park, there's tons of expansive hiking trails and
Yeah.
spaces and things like that. So
What was the road you just mentioned? You
so
start with
ye-
the L.
yeah, so Linton, the
Linton.
Linton little
Linton's
village,
Linton's a little town.
little
Oh,
that you
okay.
go
town.
through
Got it.
kind
I
of on
didn't
your
even
way
know
out
that.
to Sophie Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like between Linton and Sophie Island, like there's a lot of entrances to Forest Park
Yeah.
that are
I've
great.
driven through to Sophie Island.
Yes,
enough
so you've
to
driven
know.
through Linton.
Had
yes.
no idea. There's a
And
town
I
named
think it's
Linton there, people.
Germantown Road. That goes
Yeah,
up, like,
yes.
kind of goes up
Yes.
towards Beaverton and stuff. and
Yeah.
Well,
splits
that's
that, but-
embarrassing.
Well, I
Just
mean,
completely
that's why you're
under-
doing this show, right?
Yeah.
Everyone,
We're doing it
cover
so
more.
our audience can learn new things about Portland, but we're learning new things too.
Absolutely.
I've lived here
Totally.
my whole life. So.
Yeah.
That sounds. I mean, I was just at Forest Park a couple days ago, and I would
Yeah.
have never. I mean, I just go to the places on the
Yeah.
southwest side. That's it.
Yeah, they're
Had no
just so
idea.
busy right now. We live near one that's really busy, and it's hard to keep your kids socially distanced on those trails.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's hard for me to keep myself
Yeah.
socially distant. So to ask
Yeah.
a youngster to
Totally.
remember, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then my third spot would be, this is more of like a full day commitment, or at least the morning, is if you go out 26, like you're headed to the coast, so 26 West, and there's a trail called the Banks Vernonia Trail that runs north-south sort of from Vernonia all the way down to Banks, and it's a rails to trails conversion. So it used to be an old railway line, and they converted it to be a bikeway or a pathway. So the cool thing about it is that it's pretty flat. It's fairly narrow, but there's lots of families on bikes, on strollers, scooters. I don't even know how long it is, maybe like 13 or 15 miles in length. But there's multiple trailheads. We love the Buxton trailhead. So if you Google that, Buxton, Buxton, there's a big like picnic spot. There's a little pond. There's picnic. I mean, it's like a great spot to
Nice.
go, and you can either go north or south from there. So
I've never been. I'd love to check that out.
we
Gosh,
love
you're
that.
giving us some good
But
ones
here's
today.
the tip.
Yeah.
Here's the tip on that in the summer in Portland. This is critical, people. If
Listen
you
up.
leave to go out there, if you leave downtown Portland after 9 a.m., you will be stuck in traffic that is from the coast. People that are trying to go to the
Oh,
coast.
yeah.
It starts to
that's
back up.
That's a great point. for
Right in
sure.
that area, even by like 10 a.m. on a Saturday or a
Yeah.
Sunday. So when we leave, we try to leave by like 8:30 so that we're out there before all the traffic
Beat
comes
that
in.
traffic, yeah.
And then we're there for the morning. And then by the time we're leaving, the traffic is like backed up to Hillsborough. So
Yeah.
the tip is like leave
Prior to
early
nine.
and get out
Early.
there.
And do
Yes.
you pack like a picnic? Do you
Yeah.
pack your lunch? Are there places to go in the area if you
There's
wanted
not
to
really
stop?
anywhere.
So you come prepared
Come
with your
prepared,
food.
Yeah, get there early
Yeah.
and come prepared.
There's a couple farm markets out there, but they're mostly cash only, and they're like mostly just like jerky and fruit. You know, like
Yes,
it's a very limited
makes sense.
selection.
Yeah.
So
Maybe some nuts in there
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
You can get by on that if you have to.
Yeah.
If you don't come prepared, so.
yes, pack a lunch. That's a good question. And lots of water.
Lots of water. Is there? I mean, I'm assuming there's places for bathroom, restrooms.
There
and all
is,
that.
but it's somewhat limited. Like that
Yeah.
trail is yes.
Any tips for where the restrooms are?
There is a restroom at Buxton Trailhead, which
That's-
is why we like to
That's
go
why you
there.
like to go
Yes,
there.
so
Okay,
go there.
Yeah, Buxton Trailhead.
Those are the good things to know prior to
Yes,
leaving.
totally.
So thank you
That's
so
great.
much.
Those are great pro tips. I love
Yeah.
it. So,
Awesome.
any other spots that are great for kids? Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
an awesome Portland package.
There might be
right
other
there, so.
ones, but I can't.
I think
of
her, how old are your children again?
2 and 5.
2 and 5, so they're a lot younger.
Yeah.
Jet
So,
is it now?
so
at
me and my
the age?
buddy, his son's 12, our son's almost 10, and so
Yeah.
we took, which is only an hour north, but it's up in Washington, but it's an easy drive to Merwin Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Have you
that
been
was
out
I
there?
haven't,
that
but
was-
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. There was, it was easy to park there. It does get packed too, so same thing. It was kind of, we had to park way down, but there is a parking lot.
Awesome.
And we got there late. We started early, but we got lost, and so that was.
That's where the tips come in here.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Don't
But
follow Google.
There's this great spot, and I couldn't tell you exactly where it's at, but it's right by where the bridge is, and I don't know if there's more than one, but there's a bridge, and then there's stairs down to go in there, and we just took our floaties down there with the kids, and they have a rope swing off the.
Oh,
If
cool.
your kids are brave enough, mine
Yeah.
wasn't, or ours wasn't,
Yeah.
but. But the dads swung off, and then the 12-year-old swung off of there. But me and Jet were able to just float, and you can kind of float under the bridge and get cooled off a little bit, or you can go out in the sun and bake yourself. But
Awesome.
that was a fun little
That sounds nice.
trip. Just
Yeah, we
for-
have a son
for-
that's a little apprehensive about anything new, so that's why the good safe spots are
Yeah,
definitely
that's
good
great.
to know because they
We'll
give
see you at Buxton Trailhead.
Yeah.
Right?
And if he doesn't have to think about risk versus reward, then he's good.
Great.
So,
Great.
And then you guys just went floating on over at Todd's. It's a lender we use. What do you
Yeah,
see
that's
on
on the
Willamette?
upper Willamette, so kind of by the in West Lynn, but right by the Canby Ferry. And
Got
so
it.
the upper Willamette's a lot calmer than the lower Willamette, and there's not quite as much chaos going on up there.
Yeah.
And our friend has this beautiful dock, so we just were able to go out there and hang out.
But there are places that families can go up there, right?
There are, I don't know which parks they are. I think,
Yeah.
well, there's Willamette Park right in Westland.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that was the day he taught Jet how to. What do you call it?
The hillbilly float, or they call it the float diaper, I think. Where
Oh,
put
got
on
it.
the, put
Okay.
on the
Yep.
life jacket upside
Got it.
down. And,
Yes.
and,
Yes.
He had to trust in the life jacket diaper
Yeah,
for the
he didn't
first
think
time.
he was going to float, so he wasn't going to jump off that dock, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So finally I jumped in, and then my buddy's girlfriend was able to kind of calm him down, and that motherly touch, she finally got him to, he did ditch her the first time.
I can't
He said he was
imagine why
going
he
in.
wouldn't feel safe.
It
Putting
doesn't,
a
it doesn't
life
feel very safe to me.
No.
But that's fine.
Dad's got a beer in hand. Yeah, it probably wasn't the
I
safest
saw the
thing.
picture. I was like, okay, that's great. So it was an upside down life jacket. You know, you
Right.
got it on wrong, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
So,
Lord.
just note to self, that does work, actually.
It does. You float perfectly upright, and
It's safe.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
no, I think those are all great places that we
Awesome.
spoke about today. So, we're going to take another quick break here. And when we come back, we're going to find out more about the 4 places on the same street that Diane has moved to in her 12 years of
12
Portland.
years, yes.
That's an interesting story.
You want the absolute best for yourself, and you want it to be easy. That's why we created Green 85. It helps with detoxifying the body gently. We're proud it's chemical-free, unlike almost all other supplements you'll find. Bottom line, Green 85 will get you healthier. We look forward to hearing what Green 85 did for you.
To get this product and our other amazing products, go to chemicalfreebody.com. That's chemicalfreebody.com.
welcome back, everyone, and we're back here at the GMP Studios on 24th and East Burnside, and our guest Diane is going to tell us about her 4 homes in 12 years, and we're also going to talk about how working from home with today's current situation and how that affects people's choices in real estate.
Yep.
So tell
Take
us
it
about
away.
Take it away.
You've lived
Oh,
in one
Lord.
neighborhood for 12 years and you've bought 4 homes.
Not
Yeah,
just
not
one
just-
neighborhood. Go ahead.
No,
Yes,
you're right.
yeah,
One street.
exactly.
One
Yeah,
street.
exactly.
All on one street.
Yes, all in one street.
Is it a long street? Or is it a
There's
short?
four
I feel like
houses
it's a
on it.
short.
There's-
I can, so let me actually reframe that. I can
Yes.
see all of my prior homes from my current master bedroom window. So it's real close.
Are those people taking good care of that house?
Yeah, so the story is that so after I moved to Portland, I met my now husband within about 6 months of moving here. And so we ended up moving in together into an apartment that I can see from my current home in the northwest area of Portland. And then we moved up the street to rent a house. So we went from being apartment renters to then being home renters. We actually tried to buy the house that we were renting at the time. We had just gotten married, but they ended up selling it to a family friend. So then we found a home of some of our friends that actually were living next door to us at our old apartment. So we put an offer in on that home. So the apartment that we used to live in was now our neighbors of our new home, newly bought home.
So other people that moved on the
Yes,
street.
yes. So we moved
So it's
there.
a thing.
And then when we were in that home, it was sort of like a small craftsman built in the 20s. So very, very quaint and very cute, and also very small and difficult to sort of renovate. So
Quirky as well.
yeah, it was older, and there was just a lot of weird things about that property. But we loved it because it was our first home. We also had my first daughter, not in that home, but she was brought
her
into the
home.
world.
Yep.
That's where she
In that
came home
home.
too, yeah.
And so we had to make the choice to either renovate that house or buy a different house as we sort of outgrew that home. It had one small bathroom. So when we were trying for our second child, that's when we decided to make the move. And of course, we found a house on the same
Were
street.
these listed on them, or did you just through conversation?
It's sort of a
find
mix
them?
of both.
Okay.
Like some of them were listed and some of them were just neighbors that we knew were selling their home. So actually 2 of the 4 transactions were like off market sort of transactions that we sort of did with them.
Made happen.
Yeah, or we had real estate support, but it was like not because they helped us find it. It was
Right.
because they helped us actually make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Makes
so that was just very interesting. So now we're in our current home. So we live in the house that is next door to the house we used to rent. And all of my apartment and the house we bought before, you can also see from our window. So we really love this street.
I've never heard that before. Ever.
I don't think we're moving again. I was saying this earlier.
What neighborhood is it?
It's in the northwest neighborhood, so it's kind of like right between the northwest, like trendy northwest alphabet district and the industrial district.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're kind of like right between those areas.
At the bottom of Forest Park.
Yeah, so really
the
close to
base,
Forest
yeah.
Park. And also just kind of in a quieter part of the neighborhood because it is up against that. So yeah, we love that part of the of Portland. And
sounds like it.
we are not going to move unless we move out of Portland.
You don't have your eye on another house on that street at
No,
all?
I mean,
Are there
who knows?
Are there houses
Who
left?
knows? Yeah,
Have you hit them all?
there are houses left.
Is there like any that
Yeah.
if we were gonna move, that one would be the one right there
Yeah.
on that street, or
Honestly, the house that we have right now, when we moved into it, it felt like a stretch for us. Like it was too big of a home for what we needed.
Yeah.
And as we'll talk about in a minute, part of what I envisioned for that home was that it could also become a more flexible space for us long term if I were to launch a company or we were to have some parents living with us or just wanted more flexible space. So the basement of our home was built out to be a full apartment. So
Okay.
it has
Oh, nice. Yeah.
sort of a separate entrance, and a bedroom, a bathroom, a mini kitchen, a living space, like all the things. So we're now using that to run sort of my business.
That's your office down
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So it kind of, but like when we moved in with one kid and one on the way, that home seemed huge for us. So we hope to not outgrow it anytime soon.
Do you find a lot of your clients are looking for that now when they're making the switch to a new business and maybe starting from their home? Is that
Yeah, I mean, I think so, especially now, I think so many people are feeling cautious about either going back to the workplace or even investing in a commercial space for their business right now.
Brick and mortar.
Yeah, there's just a lot of apprehension about that, as there would be, because of people's risk tolerance of being out in the world, being at a store, being at an office. And so we're finding a lot of people who have actually either pulled back on those and like are reinvesting in their home to say, how can I make my home be the hub of all the things, which I think is really cool, but is quite a shift.
It is quite
it's shifted with the pandemic. A lot of people are learning how to, we actually can work from home, and we, even though we have teams and other colleagues that we need to communicate with, I think it's really brought some of those communication tools to the forefront and made it easier for people to put on their jacket last minute and their boxer shorts or whatever and hit that Zoom meeting,
Not speaking from experience.
No, I've never done that personally.
No. Oh my gosh.
I do like the backgrounds though.
Yeah.
I do like having
those are great.
Yes, they are. So your house, do you run your full business from your basement then, or do you guys have a separate office as well, or does everybody work from their homes and you guys just make it work?
Yeah, so it's kind of a blend of, this is another experiment that we're running right now. Prior to COVID, we used my basement. We called it the hub. We used it as sort of the hub of a lot of our team activities and meetings. And now with COVID, most folks are working from home. Many of our team members also still have kids at home. So balancing that challenge with childcare and being at home. So we've actually helped invest in people's spaces at home. So we've tried to say like, okay, let's give you a small budget to make this zone work for yourself at home.
Right.
Like maybe we'll give you a plant, or we'll get you some nice headphones or something that allows you to kind of get in your Zen space.
Work zone,
Workspace, make that work for you. We also have a small co-working space that allows people to come together or meet clients somewhere. So we do that, but it's less used than people's homes or my basement space. So just earlier today, we were outside in the yard actually having a socially distanced team meeting. So we all had masks on in the yard doing, some posters and stickies and all the things. And we had one of our colleagues on a Zoom meeting. So it's just like a whole new world.
Making it all work.
Yeah.
I think we're finding a lot of people that are doing that in addition to the need for homeschooling, figuring out where to put our children that need to go to school in our homes as well is becoming something we all have to think about. So
my family room has become a Jet's little school
classroom.
Yeah. Surrounded by a lot of Legos as well.
Yeah. I'm sure that that's a part of it.
Yeah.
I bet everyone's.
Any tips or tricks that you are? It sounds like you said, plants and headphones and stuff. Is there, what else are you guys recommending people do to create that home office space?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think
they don't have a basement too, because a lot of people in Portland have a basement, but not everybody does. So,
yeah, I think it's so one of the things that at least for me personally and people that we work with, is often you need a zone that's predictable and stable, whether it's a desk or a file cabinet or a shelf. You need some place that can be your stable zone. And I also think that a lot of what people miss about being in an office is the spontaneity of running into people or checking, having a cup of coffee over here. And that oftentimes creates creativity. It drives more innovation. It drives conversations. And so at home, when you're in that same zone all the time, I think people think that's what they need, is a perfect space. But actually what I found, and we advise people a lot, is change your playground, change your space, have a zone, but then maybe if you need to be outside, work outside, or if you need to be in the bathroom or on the closet floor, or you need to be with your kids, do that.
It's funny, I do that all the time.
Because you just got to change it up.
And I've worked from home for a long time, but that's what I do. I'll do my kind of desktop work.
Yeah.
But then I'm bored. I'm take all my, if I get a bunch of calls to make or whatever it is, I go out and just sit at the island of my kitchen, and so then I'll make calls there. Or if it's nice out, I'll go sit outside
or take a walk.
And so changing it up definitely makes a big difference.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find now more than ever people are investing in their home and putting in that extra dollar to make it what they want, what they need. You're always paying a mortgage, but is it yours or is it somebody else's? It's the question, right?
Totally.
So,
Yes.
if you can combine your home and workspace and into one, I feel like it's more accepted now, or is looking like the way for quite some time. So
yeah, and more of our clients are looking for those kind of things, and separate living quarters for in-laws, like the one I just was doing an inspection today, and they were we sold them a house. It was important for them to have a spot for the in-laws in the future.
Yep. Yeah.
They don't need it right now, but that was kind of their long-term plan.
Yeah, it's time to get creative
Yeah.
and make spaces work that might not be there. Look at the house.
But spaces for their kids, for the classroom, and then the dad works from home quite a bit, so all of those things that they were thinking about, and so we were able to help them find that. But it's not always easy because not every house can meet those needs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Luckily, Portland, we've got a strong presence of ADUs out here, or converting those basements. So that is something we have been helping and can help others
What's
with.
an ADU for those people that
Oh,
might be
yeah.
listening that don't know what an ADU
What
is?
is an ADU, guys? It's an additional dwelling unit. Technical schmechnical details.
Well, some people don't know because they're called different things in different parts of the country.
True. Good point. So, is there anything else that you, just in our recent real estate transactions that might help with home office, school focus?
Nothing we haven't talked about. I think it's just finding the right space, really.
Yeah.
But once our part's finding them something that has the right space, and then kind of some of the things you were saying is they have to create their own space. Once they get in there. So
So there you have it. We can help you find the space.
She
Diane can help you
design the space
Zhuzh it
and
up.
design your life and design your business.
Yeah,
That is
true.
true.
It is a very unique situation here. So
We're kind of unfortunately getting towards the end of our
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, it's so
We
great.
could talk all day with you, but so do you want to just kind of tell us maybe 3 things that we can do to
remind us how to get a hold of you and best way
get
for
a hold
anybody.
of you. How do we get started with you?
Great.
Those kind of things.
This is us personally asking.
Yeah,
too.
great.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we
We
need
love
your
The
help.
audience can jump in if they want. Please listen.
Yeah.
We're asking personally. So.
Yeah. Well,
Self-employed life is
Well,
struggle
just as
sometimes.
oh my gosh, I understand that. Well, first of all, I think for everybody, would love to have you join us. We have free events. We have lots of things that are very accessible for anyone to join right out of the gate. All those things are listed on our website, which is www.thegoodnesscollaborative.com.
So that's anybody maybe not quite prepared to
Yes.
have this, but you've got those free services
Yes,
available.
everything's
so
out there.
just to get you started, dip
Yes.
your
That's
toes.
nice. It makes it real easy to
Yeah.
jump in.
Yeah. Yeah, we have those, and you can now join those from anywhere because everything we're doing now is virtual. So
Nice.
you can be anywhere and
Yes.
join those. And then also, secondly, if you need more or you want more, you can book a consult on there, a free 30-minute conversation with me, just to hear more about what we do. And also, I'll ask you a ton of questions about what you're looking for, where you're stuck, and then we'll figure out what to do
Nice.
from there. So excited. Thank you. Thanks again for having me.
Yes.
It's been such a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks everyone for listening. And
Absolute honor to have you here today. So, and thank you for everyone listening.
Yeah, and please, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe. We're on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Subscribe, like us, review
Follow us on Instagram. Also,
Yes,
Goodness
follow us.
Collaborative on Instagram. So, All Things Portland Show.
Things Portland
Google
Show
us; it'll
on
all
the
pop up. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening.